from the Cheltenham Badlands in Ontario, Canada.
Welcome to the GCN Show!
Welcome to the GCN Show, brought to you by our friends at Wiggle.
This week, I don't really want to say what's coming up this week, frankly.
No, well I know why, Si. It's because you got naked, didn't you, and rode across central London wearing nothing but your Speedos. All for World Bicycle Relief, although you will be relieved to know that Si didn't come off.
No. Even better than that though, we have got extreme bikepacking, weekly inspiration, and Cyclist versus Giant Lizard. So that's something out of Hollywood this week, isn't it, Dan?
But not Baywatch. This week in the world of cycling, we learnt that bikepacking can be occasionally an extreme sport.
This is Ali Denham riding what can only be described as a hiking trail. That's terrifying, look at that! Oh my word!
I'm petrified watching that, and I wouldn't ride a bike, nor would I even hike down that trail. It looks horrific. Fair play, Ali. Ali, incidentally, is currently riding all the way from Argentina to Alaska and is cycling about Instagram page. It's well worth a follow.
Absolutely. Right, we also learned this week that EF Education First Drapac, powered by Cannondale clothed in Rapha, will actually be able to enter Ironman races next year as part of their hipster race programme because Rapha have just launched a top tube bag.
Oh, I wonder if sales of their socks will go down as a byproduct of that.
Good point. Yeah.
To be fair, that is a big turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old top tube bag, which has been much maligned over the years. In fact, if you just said just 2 or 3 years ago that Rapha would be one day making a top tube bag, you'd have been laughed out of the room. I
You
think.
would indeed. But even I'm coming around to its merits, Dan, as I found out in that Hyperbike video, if a top tube bag is actually integrated into your frame set, it's got its merits.
Yes, that Hyperbike, of course, having one last outing before it was sent back.
That's right. Some might say it's gone out in a blaze of glory.
Last year, we promised you that if you raised enough money for World Bicycle Relief, that Si and Matt would ride across London wearing nothing but a pair of Speedos. And you smashed the target. In fact, you raised $170,000, which was amazing. Now, a lot of time's passed since then, in fact, almost a year exactly, but we haven't forgotten, have we, Si? Don't be shy, come on in. Look at the state of him.
I honestly had hoped that we had forgotten, but
Nope.
No, apparently not.
No.
I mean, Matt isn't here, so perhaps I shouldn't.
No, he left.
Oh,
I can see why now. Actually, he didn't want to be embarrassed looking like that, did he?
No, he didn't. No, I mean, it is quite cold. Do we have to leave it until November?
We've all made sacrifices. You haven't forgotten the fact that I shaved my hair off for the very same cause a couple of years ago, which was a huge sacrifice because, well, at my age, it might not have grown back.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of people have said it's never quite been the same since. So,
Who said that?
just one or two in the comments occasionally. But anyway, jokes aside, it is absolutely freezing today.
I've got 2 coats on, actually.
Do you think it'd be cool? I'm sure the viewers would be okay with me just having a couple of extra items of clothing, just to stop hypothermia.
What, apart from your socks?
Apart from my socks, yeah. Like just
One extra piece I'll allow you.
2 small ones. They don't need to
Go
be
on then,
big.
2, as long as they're small.
All right.
Right, go on then. I'm not
Have I
gonna,
actually got to do this?
Yeah, I'm not going to look though. Everyone else is looking at you though.
You're actually going to meet me at the Assos store,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Oh my God.
Right, there
I
you go,
can't
mate.
sort of see you in the side of vision.
Okay.
All right, answer, mate. Bloody hell. Oh my God. I didn't realise I had a picture of me on his ass. Does feel quite fitting to be next to Nelson's column, actually.
Oh man, that's cold. I could go straight on here and go down to Buckingham Palace, but I suspect if I was going to get arrested, it'd be doing that. It's kind of occurred to me that if an accident were to happen, this is not the way I want to go. There it is.
fair play, mate. I mean, that was only short, wasn't it, the ride? But
The ride.
that took some balls, which I didn't think you had in you.
Thanks, mate. In all seriousness, we've got to say a huge thank you, not just for if you're still watching after that little stunt, but also for the money that you raised and donated last year. As Dan said, it's $177,000 to World Bicycle Relief, which is just brilliant.
Yeah, unbelievable, really. And that was enough for 1,203 Buffalo bikes, which World Bicycle Relief have now handed out.
Yeah, bikes that literally have changed people's lives by allowing them to travel further, faster, more safely, opening up opportunities as basic and fundamental as going to school or going to a place of work.
Yeah, it's things which I saw firsthand actually last year when I went over to Zambia. I witnessed it all and what Buffalo bikes can do to change people's lives there. So if you've got any more spare money that you would like to give to a charity, I thoroughly recommend World Bicycle Relief. In fact, we'll stick a link in the description below this video if you'd like to donate any more this year.
Absolutely. And next year, well, it'll be someone else's turn, won't it, Dan?
Yes, we've done our forfeits now, haven't we? On to the next presenters. Got any ideas of what they should do?
Sorry, no sirens, mate. I'm just a bit concerned that's the police catching up with me. So I'm just gonna, I'll see you later, okay?
Mate, yeah. It was a bit of a crime, wasn't it?
Back in the warmth of the GCN set now because we
Thankfully.
thought we would have a very quick debrief, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I already have debriefed. Look, see?
I can see that.
There
I
you
saw
go.
them resting on your lap. What I would like to know is if you'd have got even more attention than you did had you been sporting these. This little number which came in just one day too late for you to wear around central London, unfortunately.
Yeah, they are now in the GCN shop, though, for anyone who's interested. Heavily discounted,
Yeah,
as you can
90%
imagine.
off, I expect. Huge crowds gathered at one point around the Astor shop. I didn't think anyone had a clue who you were. They were just fascinated by someone wearing not very much in central London.
Yeah.
But this guy really wanted a photo with you, didn't he? But he didn't want to get too close.
No, much like you, actually, Dan. Viewers, you'll note that there's a pane of glass in between Dan filming
Well,
that
yeah.
and me outside.
Well, it's warmer inside, and I also want to be completely disassociated with you on that day.
I tell you what, I hope you appreciate how much effort I put into bulking up for that. We known it was coming for a while, and so I was, in the gym, just making sure I could put on a bit of a gun show for you all.
Welcome to the gun show.
See,
featuring
there we go,
Cyclist.
yeah.
Be honest with us, though, mate. Did you feel like an absolute tit?
Oh my God, did I feel like a tit? Yeah, no, I did. I mean, actually, when I was riding, it wasn't so bad, like mullet flowing, kind of carbon wheels rumbling. One can't help but feel cool as a cucumber in that situation, but I hadn't appreciated quite how much time I'd be stuck in traffic, completely stationary. And so when you're there sandwiched between two double-decker buses and a taxi, you can't help but feel a little bit exposed.
Well,
and,
that's a surprise, yeah.
And naked, basically. So yes, no, it was suitably embarrassing.
Never again.
No. If that wasn't inspiring enough, it's actually now time for your weekly inspiration. That part of the show where we show the very best, most inspiring photos that you send in each week. Our podium, third place gets £50 voucher, courtesy of our mates at Wiggle. Second place gets 75, and first place gets a whopping £100 voucher. Right, should we start with number 3, Dan?
It's a good prize, isn't it? £100. Do what you want with on a cycling website. Anyway, in third place with £50 is Biker Latte. Best way to prepare for Thanksgiving dinner? A little brick 20-mile bike, 4-mile run. And well, if you can get to that sort of place in 20 miles, you live in a nice area.
Yeah, 20-mile bike ride sounds great. I'm not sure about the 4-mile run, but we can leave that to one side for the inspirational part.
Yeah,
I do think that's cool, actually. I like that very much. Right, second place, we have got this sent in by Ryan from Chicago, Illinois. This is him with his son shredding till sunset, he says. That is super cool, isn't it? That's an image to treasure.
Yes.
Fantastic. And
There's
yeah.
nothing quite like that. I do love going out riding with my son. And it looks like he's having fun. It'll be memories for life for them as well, won't it?
Yeah, it will, won't it? Right, which means in first place...
It is Yaniv over in Israel on a foggy forest ride. And that looks rather moody, doesn't it?
Oh man, that
Great
is cool.
shot.
That's great. Yeah, group ride, in the forest, on a bit of gravel, but brilliantly, they're wearing shorts and short-sleeve jerseys, Dan. It's not the kind of fog we've got here at the moment, or we had in Coxsider at the World Cyclocross Cup at the weekend. Yeah, that looks wicked, doesn't it?
It has been cold here recently, Si, hasn't it?
Yes, I think we all saw that a little bit earlier on, didn't we? Yeah, there we go. Anyway, a well-deserved winner, I think you'd agree.
Yeah,
this
let's
week's
know
weekly inspiration.
what you spend that money on, Yaniv, at £100. As a reminder of how you put yourself in with a chance of winning one of those 3 voucher amounts, the hashtag on Instagram is GCN Inspiration. There's loads on there to look at if you fancy having a look yourself. Or you can upload them to the GCN Uploader, a link to which is in the description below.
It's now time for cycling shorts.
Cycling shorts, and we will start this week with the news that Andrea Tafi, the 52-year-old former winner of Paris Roubaix, may well have got himself a World Tour contract for next year to allow himself another crack at his favourite race that he won 20 years ago.
It does indeed. I mean, to be fair, any World Tour team probably should take him on with the amount of publicity he appears to be getting and will do up till the race. But the rumours have been Team Dimension data, and they appear to be proven even more by the UCI President David Lappartient, who basically suggested the same thing just last week. Not sure why he's leaking it to the press, to be perfectly honest, but Tafi does seem one step closer to his dream Paris-Roubaix return. Anyway, staying in Italy for a little bit longer, next year apparently the Giro Rosa is going to feature a mountaintop finish up the fearsome Gavia. Now that is an 8% average gradient for 17 kilometres, which is brutal.
It is, isn't it? But there are more than one ways to skin a cat, Dan. If you want brutal climbs, check out this. This is from the Pittsburgh Dirty Dozen. Of the 13 climbs in that event, this one up Canton Avenue is 39%.
Oh man.
And cobbled.
Apparently, they found a 49%
No.
climb. More on that in next week's GCN show. What struck me, though, from watching the footage of the Dirty Dozen site is that it's immensely frustrating, isn't it, if you don't make it all the way up a climb. If you don't make it up a climb because of somebody else, well, that's infuriating.
Yep, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Now, here in the UK this last week, the Department of Transport have showed that work is still going on in the British government despite Brexit fever when they published a report called the Cycling and Walking Investment Strategy.
Honestly, it doesn't seem to offer very much.
No, it really doesn't. It is a bit of a damp squib, isn't it? Proof then that there is still Brexit fever.
Yes, but among the 50 suggestions, one of the few headline grabbers was the idea that a financial incentive could encourage motorists to behave differently towards cyclists, I say, and pedestrians, basically through an optional cycle awareness programme that would in turn, if they took it, lower their insurance premiums.
Yeah, but in Insurance Online, which is an actual website, the Association of British Insurers went to say that actually they couldn't see how it would have any effect on insurance premiums at all. And then intriguingly, the article finishes midway through the next sentence, which I've never seen before. Bizarre.
Oh no, that's behind a paywall site.
Is it?
Website, I think. Yeah, you just have to pay some money, you'll get the whole article. Anyway, if we
I
move
thought he was
quickly
being
on.
careless. Anyway, there we go.
That's embarrassing. Anyway, if you want intriguing, why don't you check out this headline from the Bangkok Post?
Oof, one of our favourites.
Definitely one of our favourites, that, isn't it? A cycling billionaire loses face-off with monitor lizard.
Wow, that is intriguing.
It is. Yeah, apparently this is a businesswoman who was out for a nice leisurely ride round the local park on a Sunday morning.
Cool.
At which point she stumbled across a giant lizard. She stopped. She waited for it to move, but it didn't move.
So what happened?
So she carefully rode around it, at which point it charged at her and knocked her off her bike.
Oh, that's awful. And we often say, don't we, about the dangers of riding in Australia, but Thailand now goes on my list of places to be scared of.
Yes.
In all seriousness, we do wish Ariachan Aprisito Morgul a speedy recovery and also stay vigilant of wildlife.
Bit of bad news now, Si.
Really?
Our metallic edition range of t-shirts and jerseys, etc., will no longer be on sale as of midnight tomorrow.
As in no longer on sale or no longer on sale at all?
On sale at all?
Oh my word.
That's only if you're watching this on a Tuesday, so it ends at midnight on Wednesday, Greenwich Mean Time.
Crikey.
So you haven't got long to take full advantage. Unfortunately, the socks and the caps have already gone. Things have been selling like hotcakes.
Are there any of these?
Yeah, there are a few of those. There are a few of these t-shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve in silver and gold. So head over to shop.global cycling network to take advantage of them if you haven't done so already. Remember, same high quality materials, but just a lower price.
Yeah. Now, some more bad news then. There's actually only one pair of these currently for sale, not on the shop. Those are on eBay. Now, yeah, hardly used. Slight problem in that I didn't think that transfer would go through the wash, so they haven't been. Frankly.
Good idea, mate.
But anyway, those if you search for them.
It's bog off. It's buy one get one free, isn't it?
Whoa!
These are actually part of the material, so you can wash those ones. Not that you probably need.
Are you actually going to part with those? I thought you wouldn't mind those.
Maybe for World Bicycle Relief. You know, they go for £2.
I just thought you summer holidays.
Good point.
Over to the workshop now for Tech of the Week.
Thanks, guys. Well, this week we discussed a revised UCI regulation that could well see pro cyclists having to use the exact same equipment that you or I buy off the shelf. Plus, we also look at your thoughts on graphene and what new bikes could there be coming up in 2019.
Also, new this week, there's a new carbon-spoked carbon wheel set from Hunt, which weighs just 1,290 grams. Now, while a carbon-spoked ultra-lightweight wheel set is really exciting, for me, at any rate, the most exciting thing here is the manufacturing process of the rim.
Yeah, that's right. So Hunt are actually using filament winding, which is a manufacturing technique a few other companies have actually introduced recently. And well, it has seriously big implications for carbon rims, doesn't it?
Yeah, so filament winding uses a robot, or sort of like a robot grandma, to knit the carbon rim out of a big spool of carbon. Now, in the past, this was done to make round tubes, and it wasn't applicable to more complex shapes. However, advances in tech has made this possible. Now, the advantages of filament winding are that because it's done by a robot, you have a more consistent layup and higher quality final product than traditional hand layup techniques. The other advantage is that, well, you can reduce manufacturing costs as well, meaning that those savings can potentially be passed on to the consumer, resulting in a more affordable carbon wheel set.
Well, it sounds good for the consumer, doesn't it, after all? Plus, we've got your bikes, your upgrades, and the all-important bike vault. And guess what, Ollie?
What?
The buzzer, it's back. And maybe for just 1 week only.
Join us on Thursday.
He's looking forward to it.
It's now time for hack/Bodge of the week, and we're going to start with an incredible sculpture of a lady made entirely out of chains. This is from Jonathan Moss on Twitter @Carnub. Impressive use of bike chains. I was looking at that, found in Capri in Italy.
That is absolutely remarkable. A little bit rusty now. Maybe you could have done with a bit of WD-40, but yeah, fair play. Maybe we need a third category now. Hack/Bodge/art.
Yes, well, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Arty. Well, it's neither hack nor bodge, is it? It's just art. Right, this one was sent in by Safely Dangerous from Denver, Colorado. What in tarnation? Fixed gear, thudbuster seat post, suspension fork, front disc brake, rear brake installed backwards, and those handlebars and brake levers.
Yeah. Conclusion: there's a lot going on with this bike.
It's kind of a cool hack bike, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a mismatch of different products, isn't it? Right there.
That is a terrifying brake
It's a
lever,
bodge, isn't it? It's just a sort of general bodge.
Yeah, that's definitely from the bottom of the parts.
Is it hack/Bodge/mismatch?
Yeah,
Anyway.
/ terrifying.
Okay, this came in on Instagram from the Frugal Cyclist, sorry. It's a small
You
font.
just managed to save that one down.
Laptop broke. He really is a frugal cyclist as well, actually, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I Zwifted with my phone, created a platform for the phone with my Garmin mount, cardboard, and rubber bands, added some glue to create a non-slip texture. Don't try and tell us that a lot's more went into this than meets the eye. Well, I mean, it worked.
Yeah. What I find intriguing about this design, Dan, is that the elastic bands hold the cardboard on. Why don't you just put them over the phone? And then you wouldn't have had to create a non-slip texture with your glue. Just one more elastic band was all it would have taken.
Phone over the top? Well, it wouldn't be very stable on the top of the stem.
No, but as in, like, you keep the cardboard and then you just have another couple of elastic bands and then your phone's not going anywhere.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Anyway, I think that's kind of a cool hack. DIY phone mount, should we say it's a hack?
All right, let's give it a hack stab.
It's a hack. Right, next up, this one. Slightly scary, actually. A Willem Sharp best valve cap ever. It looks like something out of Halloween.
Well, that's not going to help your wheel balancing, is it?
No, it's not.
Bodge, why would you want that?
True. You don't need a valve cap, do you, really?
Right, we'll move on to one of our long-term viewers. Welcome, Try Russell 3.
Hello, Try Russell 3.
Old, used Bontrager wheel turned into a wheel clock. I think this one looks really slick. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Are they the correct number of spokes? So 1, 2,
Yeah, that's how they used to be.
Yeah, but it's,
I don't
no,
know.
I'm not sure about that because it's
as in
20 spokes, you know, and there's 24 hours in a day, isn't there? So it's sort of 10 groups of 2. I think that'd be hard to tell the time on.
Yeah, good point, actually.
Yeah, thanks,
I hadn't
mate.
thought about that. That is actually a bodge. I was going to say, because it looks really cool. I used to love those wheels.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Well, we help each other out because I hadn't thought about the extra elastic band, and you hadn't thought about the inability to tell time on that clock. So Bodge, sorry, Tri Russell, long-term viewer, but it's Bodge.
Try harder next time.
Finally, we've got this
generous laugh.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? This from William, who says, not sure the brand or make, but this hack caught my eye. I'm pretty sure I have seen this hack before of a tyre used to prevent any chips from stones on a mountain bike. Si says he hasn't, but I think it's a great idea.
Heavy duty. I mean, what's that going to add? Probably another 400 grams to the weight of your bike, but there we go. Maybe don't try it on your road bike.
Yeah.
But...
And only zip tied on.
Oh, I hate zip ties on bicycles.
Yeah. So what are we saying then?
Bodge.
Hack.
What?
No. All right, I'll leave it to you, Si.
All right, this last one though, this is genius. This is sent in by Sophia, and basically, by the look of it, she's overcooked a naan bread.
Oh.
But she said rather than let it go to waste, she thought she'd take advantage of it and use it as a homemade saddle, which got me thinking that maybe as a homemade saddle it wouldn't be ideal, but if you cook it properly next time, just whack it inside your shorts and it'd be like a heated chamois.
Yeah.
Naan bread chamois. Just make sure it's not like a garlic one.
Well, you could do that with overcooked sausages for your hands, couldn't you?
Good point.
Very good point. Anyway, if you'd like to get involved, the hashtag is GCN Hack. We search Instagram and Twitter mainly, occasionally go onto Facebook, or you can send it to us as a message.
Caption Competition now, your chance to get your hands on a GCN Camelback water bottle there. Before we get on to this week's caption photo, last week's results, we gave you this image, and the winner is...
Rob Evans, who said, caption, as well as the power meter ban, the Tour de France have another trick up their sleeve to slow down Team Sky and Sagan.
Hey!
Well done to you, Rob. Let us know what your address is on Facebook and we'll get that sent out to you. This week's photo...
Oh my word,
sorry,
again?
I was about to say close your eyes, but that wouldn't help in giving a caption, would it? Anyway, I should get you started with this. Oh, sorry. You've got a hole on your hole. Or a bum on your chum. No, chum on your bum. That was what I was going to say, wasn't it? There's a chum on your bum. Anyway, if you can do better than any of those, get in touch in the comment section down below and we'll choose our favourite this time next week.
That's a bit mean though, Dan, because there's no bleeping in the comments, is there? So that, you can't be rude because we can't read it out next week. So,
Well, no, yeah, bear
keep
that in
it
mind.
clean.
If you actually want to win, bear that in mind. But if you just like to be funny, I'll happily read them.
Yeah, good point.
Right then, the part of the show where we go through our favourite comments from the past 7 days and then tell you what's coming up for the next 7 days. We're going to start with a couple of comments underneath our epic ride from Oman, which came out at the weekend. That, of course,
great video.
Emma
I
and
loved
Chris.
watching that.
Yeah, that looked fantastic, didn't it? First up, Sahib Yusuf. Anyone else felt like grabbing their bike and going for a ride just after the video? That is the idea of our Epic Ride series, really, isn't it? That firstly, you want to go out immediately on a ride, but secondly, you would like to visit the destination. It does look like one to put on the bucket list.
I didn't want to go for a swim after watching the ending, that's for sure.
That's cold.
Dave Pratt, he said he was really conflicted about the video because it seems like Emma might be human after all. Not sure how I like that. Well, yeah, rare moment of weakness for Emma on that climb.
Yeah.
I mean, she still smashed Chris, but still.
You still wouldn't mess, would you?
No.
Next up, from Lazy Remnant, underneath your video site, looking at the Shimano 105 group set out this year. I'm rooting for 105 in these upcoming 105 versus Dura Ace videos.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that compares, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. Then under the 8 worst spectator mistakes of the year, we had Ragnarok 043. I used to be a fan, but I upgraded to an air conditioner.
Boom, boom.
Yeah,
Win
nice
caption
one.
of the week if you went for our photos. Couldn't
Yeah,
you?
and Steffi Volsic, at least cycling fans don't set fire to cars and destroy entire cities like the fans of another popular sport. Well,
Beach volleyball or something, is it?
yeah, it's a point there, isn't it? Really?
Anyway, there was a lot of love, in fact, for the giant inhaler
There
fans
was
dressed up
indeed.
as doctors, so why don't we relive that moment again?
I've got a lot of love for the giant inhaler, actually.
So, coming up on the channel over the next week, on Wednesday, Si is going to show you how to plan your next bike packing adventure. So if you're into that, it's a must watch.
Now, I need your help with that one as well, please. You'll see why at the end of the video.
Okay, and then on Thursday, we have got the top 8 surprises of the 2018 cycling season. And you would not believe what's in that.
Really? Is it a surprise?
Yeah, and then on Friday, it's Ask GCN Anything.
Yeah, on Saturday, Ollie takes us through deep section wheels versus crosswinds. So a common question we get, so he explains everything. Then on Sunday, how light is right? How to find your optimum body weight for cycling and the dangers of getting it wrong. So that's an important watch, that one, I think. And then Monday, it's the Racing News Show. And then on Tuesday, it's the GCN Show. We are getting towards the end of the show, but we've still got time for Extreme Corner. And this week is more extreme than most. This is Geordie Lunn with Rough AF 3.
Rough AF, I think that is.
What does AF mean then?
Turn it round, turn it round, turn it round.
Coming.
Turn it round, turn it round. Gonna let nobody.
Yeah, that is bonkers.
Well, he did
Truly
almost lose
bonkers.
it, didn't he?
Well, yeah,
Not surprisingly,
really,
off a vertical ramp.
Well, honestly, who nails a load of planks to a tree and then rides down it?
Yeah,
Any ramp that you have to winch your bike up to start is not a ramp that I want to ride down.
You do it to get views, I reckon.
No way.
Maybe we'd be a bit more successful if we did something like that. Anyway, that is the end of this week's GCN show, so thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you haven't checked out that Oman video yet, Emma and Chris's epic ride, do make sure you have a watch.